Hiya. Today we're going to do Sichuan peppercorn chili oil. Why, you ask? Because it's not like an actual dish, but it's a dippy sauce kind of thing. Because I use it a lot. And if you go to like any Chinese restaurant anywhere in the world, on the table they usually have like a bottle of soy, a bottle of sesame, and some other various things. And they also usually have the house-made chili sauce. My friend Kaz, who operates a Japanese fried chicken and Gyoza place right kind of downstairs in my hem here, also has his own version of a chili oil there with like bits of crusty red pepper flakes in there, and it's delicious. I made a batch 2 weeks ago. It was full, and I use this stuff quite a bit, and everything, because it's delicious. Now, I'd like to have a better container to put in this lovely Tupperware, but this works for me now. Usually what I do is I mix a little bit of this, including some of the chili flakes, with a little bit of soy, and I use that as a dippy sauce for like gyoza or noodles or pretty much anything. I've been pouring it pretty much on everything. Once you make this, you have all this oil. You can also strain some of it out and keep it in a bottle on the side of your stove and use that if you need a little hint of a burst of kicky in the assy. Because this stuff is very, very spicy. So, very few ingredients. I'm going to use peanut oil. For vegetable oil, I always use peanut oil in the kitchen. I can't remember why, years ago. It does have the highest smoke point, which means, in layman's terms, that you can fry with it. A lot of refined oils, the more refined they are, the higher temperature you can bring them. So for frying, peanut oil is probably the best because, for example, if you try to use olive oil, within like seconds it starts smoking up like crazy because it's less refined. So we're going to use just about 500 milliliters of that. Also, peanut oil, since it's so refined, is very neutral in flavor and in color, which is good too. Sesame oil, maybe about 50 or 60 milliliters. So let's see. Red pepper flakes, crushed red pepper flakes, chili flakes, 70 grams or so. It's about a cup's worth. So put that in. Also backing away because this stuff, is quite potent. Now, Sichuan peppercorns. Sichuan peppercorns are from China, the southwest part of China, where the food is a little spicier than the rest of the country. And, excuse me, fumes. I knew this would happen. Woo! Sichuan peppercorns have kind of a tingle and kind of make your lips numb when you chew on one. I'm not going to do that now because I'm already inhaling red pepper flakes up the wazoo. About 15 grams, quarter of a cup, so. I'm going to give that a stir, and I'm going to put this on the stove. Now what you want to do, this isn't one of those dishes where you can kind of put it on and then go wash your hair or paint your toenails. Because it is oil, you should be sort of nearby to keep an eye on it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on my stove. Because I have an electric eye here, it's a little bit, you need to keep an eye on it. I do miss working with gas because it is, more reliable, but it is what it is. Bring this to a boil, and as soon as it gets boiling, turn it all the way down to a simmer, and you want just like the lowest simmer, because otherwise the crushed red pepper flakes will burn. So keep an eye on that. When it comes to a simmer, let it go about maybe 7 or 8 minutes. And then we'll add the next ingredient, which is orange peel. In Vietnam, the juicing oranges are green. They're super cheap. This one I got for free because I went to buy an orange juice from the vendor on the corner and grabbed a couple of these out of when he was finished juicing them. Oranges are imported from the US and are very expensive. So these are not the eating kind, but the juicing kind, and they're quite delicious. And I was actually going to use the orange kind because I thought it would, be more in tune with the color of the actual finished product. But a friend of mine, Jay, the other day said that the green-skinned oranges actually have more pungent, they do, a much more pungent aroma in the oils from this. So we're going to use that. I don't know, a couple of strips with a vegetable peeler. Put that to the side for now. We're going to go back. We're going to revisit this one in about 7 or 8 minutes. All right, it's just coming up to the boil now. Go ahead and turn it down fairly low. You just want it to simmer, gently simmer. And even if you have it on your lowest setting and it looks like it's simmering too much, you can kind of move the pan kind of half off the heat, half on. That should work. Alright, still simmering and you get a gorgeous color. Now we're going to ahead add orange peel and again leave it alone for about 15 minutes. Check on it, see how dark the orange peel has gotten. It should get a little bit crispy. Also keep it on simmer and keep an eye on it the whole time so that the chili flakes do not burn. Alright, it's been about 15 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and check this now. You can see it's not burned, but it has nice little darker bits here. So go ahead and turn off the heat. So, next step, you have to wait. All good things to those who wait. Move it off heat. Let it cool. Just leave it in the same pan it's in. If you're leaving the house for a while, put a lid on or something. I don't know. It's probably best overnight, but I only have a few hours today, and tomorrow is a very busy day. So let it cool completely with the orange peel still inside it. I'm going to revisit this in a couple of hours and see how it looks. Alright, so it's been a few hours. It's actually quite cool. What you want to do now is fish out your orange peel. Drain that, and then chop it up into little tiny little pieces with a very sharp knife and add it back in. You don't have to do that, but I like it. I think the citrus aspect of it kind of brightens up the sauce a bit without making it too heavy like an oily sauce can. But you don't actually like taste the citrus. It just is that little je ne sais quoi there and hanging out in the back. Just kind of brightens it up a bit without overwhelmingly citrus. At this point, just put it in a container and just leave it by your stove. If you're not going to use it very often, I would suggest keeping it in the fridge, but I don't really like doing that with oil-based products because the oil turns cloudy, although this is pretty dark red stuff. Anyway, this Sichuan peppercorn chili oil. I hope you will make it, and if you like spicy food, you should like it because I like it. And that should be good enough for you, right? Such a dork. Anyway, I'm off. See you guys. Have a great Sunday. See you next week.